Here we see one sheet of paper with 4 different closer looks at the same object. The object is a lock. During this drawing assignment, I want you to focus on 3 key concepts: value, gradation, and shading. Value is the word used in art to describe the lightness or darkness of a color, a line, or a shape. Gradation is the word used in art to describe a gradual change from light to dark. Gradual meaning a gentle change from light to dark. Shading is the art technique in which an artist illustrates a very gradual change in values from light to dark. It's going to take us 2 weeks to create all 4 of these drawings. I'm going to assign you 1 drawing each day I create an assignment. I would expect each drawing will take you 10 to 20 minutes. Each time you turn in one of these drawings, it will be worth 10 points. Over the past few weeks, I've given you a lot of drawing assignments using the same important personal object you selected way back at the beginning of April. I hope this has given you some time to become really familiar with your object and feel comfortable with a more complicated drawing assignment like this. This drawing was made in 2016 by one of my former students, Danny Steinmetz. I think she did a great job, and that's why I've chosen it as an example for us. Now I'd like to show you how to get things set up and begin on this assignment, which I'm calling a closer look at your object. Step 1 is finding your important personal object. Ideally, this is the same object you've been using for the whole time we've been working since spring break. The important personal object I chose were my Bose headphones. Now, if you've gone back and forth with different personal objects, you're going to have to pick one and stick with it for this entire drawing assignment, which lasts 2 weeks. Make sure you pick something that's visually interesting, that has a lot of contours, and something that you're motivated by. You may not choose a cell phone. You may not choose an iPad. Please don't choose anything that's exceptionally flat. You really do need something with a lot of contours. Step 2 is getting your paper set up. We're going to measure and cut the paper into 8 by 8 inches. We'll start in the upper left-hand corner, putting our 0-inch mark at the top and looking over to 8 inches. I'll put a dot right above 8 inches. Then I'll pull the ruler down to the bottom of the page, set it up again at the very bottom, 0 on the edge of the paper, look across, make sure everything is flat, put a small dot above 8 inches. Now, I'll position my ruler vertically and line up the ruler with the 2 dots I made at 8 inches at the top and 8 inches at the bottom. Once I've double checked that this is in alignment, I'll draw a light line down. Now I need to cut the paper. I need to double check and make sure that my paper is 8 inches tall. Now that I can see I have that right, I need to make sure that it's 8 inches long. So I'm going to do the same thing again. Place the ruler at the top of the paper, 0 on the edge of the top of the paper here on the left. Look over and find 8 inches and put a small dot above 8 inches. Pull my ruler down to the bottom of the paper. Check again that the 0 is right along the edge of the left side and place a small dot above 8 inches. Connect the dots once again. The dot on the top and the dot on the bottom are connected with a vertical line. Now I need to trim off this edge as well. Now that our paper is an 8 by 8 inch square, we're going to subdivide this square into 4 smaller squares, just like this. Let's begin dividing up the square by putting our ruler at the top of the paper, putting a dot above 4 inches. Pull the ruler down. Line up the ruler on the left and right, make sure it's 8 inches, and put a small dot above 4 inches. Turn your ruler vertically, and then draw a line connecting the dots. Draw lightly. Turn your paper so there's a horizontal line, and line up your ruler a second time at the top. Make sure 0 is on the left and 8 inches is on the right. Put a small dot above 4 inches. Pull the ruler down to the bottom. Line up your ruler so that 0 is on the left-hand side and 8 is on the right-hand side, and place a small dot above 4 inches. Connect the dots. Use a very light pencil line. We'll use our scrap of paper to create a viewfinder that's going to help us take a closer look at our object and narrow down exactly what we want to see and crop out and eliminate what we don't want to see. Artists use these all the time. To create a viewfinder, take a sheet of scrap paper or a new sheet of paper. Fold the paper in half. Draw a rectangle and cut the rectangle out from the center of the paper along the fold. When you open up the paper, you've got your viewfinder, a nice square, which is going to help you zoom in and take a closer look at your object depending on the area you choose. You can make your viewfinder in many different sizes, or you can make more than one. Use your viewfinder to set up an interesting composition. Use your viewfinder to zoom in on some interesting part of your object and eliminate unnecessary details. Please do not draw your entire object. Use your viewfinder to make choices about how to take a closer look at your important object. I'm sure you've seen a director for a movie hold their hands up before in the shape of a square, just like this. Just like a Polaroid picture, we're creating our artwork in the square. We'll begin by making a contour line drawing of our object. Once you've used your viewfinder to set up a closer look at your object, start by drawing the parts of your object that intersect the borders of your viewfinder. Work around each edge before moving inward. Draw the negative spaces, the empty spaces around your object. Really look back and forth as often as you can to make sure the empty spaces, the negative spaces, match. Erase when you see something wrong and make adjustments. Keeping your pencil lines light will help you erase with ease. Now it's time to add value and gradation to your drawing through shading. Draw what you see and not what you think you see. Shade from darkest to lightest, focusing on areas of shadows first and highlights later. Keep looking back and forth from your drawing to your viewfinder, looking for those small differences and those small changes in value. Don't forget to show gradation in your drawing, where you see transitions that are gradual from dark all the way to light. Keep looking through your viewfinder for highlights and shadows. Remember, you're only making one drawing right now. We'll be making the other 3 drawings next week.